Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. My name is Jones, and I'm your host for this webinar organized by Net24 in collaboration with Coventry University in Wrocław. And this is a unique institution in Poland that offers you UK degrees right here in Europe. We would like to introduce our guest is Miss Anna, and she is the Regional Student Recruitment Manager at Coventry University of Wrocław. And today we're going to talk about why students should choose Wrocław and why we will come to Poland, about the fees, about accommodation, about all the information of Coventry, and how the students can earn also a UK degree meanwhile they're still studying in Poland.
My name is Anna Lenicka. I have been working with Coventry for 3 years as the recruitment manager. So my role is to fill up the campus, as you can imagine. The campus was opened in 2020, 5 years ago. We are one of the 2 British universities that have a campus in Europe. The other one is Lancaster University in Germany, in Leipzig, and us. What you can see on your first slide is a picture of Wrocław. I think not many people, especially from outside of Europe, have an understanding of how Poland looks like. It's a modern country with a high GDP at the moment. And Wrocław is a very picturesque city, also called a city of students. If you look at it, you can understand why it is sometimes called the Venice of Poland. It used to be a German city before World War II, but then the whole frontier of Poland was moved right to the west. So many of our cities currently used to be German, and they know how to build well. So the city is very, very beautiful with a big old town, plenty of orange rooftops and brick buildings. So this is where students sent by you would study. A little bit about the group. So you probably know, as an agency, Coventry University, probably you're sending already students to England. This is an overview of how huge we are. So in England, there are 30,000 students. In a London campus, the main campus in the city of Coventry, in the CU group, which is the college kind of group, which has locations in Coventry, London, and Scarborough. And we are the 4th little sister here, the newest campus. Not exactly the newest, because we have a new campus opened last year in Kazakhstan. So this is also an option. And what is really amazing about the offering is that students could actually travel and switch campuses from country to country, meaning a student could spend 1 year, for example, in Coventry University or Coventry University London, then 1 year in Wrocław, and then the 3rd year in Kazakhstan, for example, or in Scarborough. So we are compatible in this sense. If the student finds the same degree, the same program in another location, they can freely change the locations. The enrollment, the registration is automatic. So that is a great option. Not many universities offer, right, the travel. If you look at the fees, ours are very, very competitive compared to England, where the tuition fees are 15,000 euros per a year for international students. Ours is very low. It's 9,000 pounds per year for international students, meaning outside of the European Union, and 6,300 euros around for European students. But 27,500 zlotys, so very, very competitive. Of course, the difference will be in the degrees, the campus itself. We offer 6 undergraduate degrees and then an MBA, but there are plans, of course, to add new courses every year. We started with 2 degrees, now we have 6 after 5 years of operation. I hope we get to 10 degrees in a couple of years. These are the other options I have mentioned to you before. This is the famous EEC building, so Electronics Computing Building in Coventry. You would also have London in the city center. So London City, if you know this neighborhood, the posh neighborhood in this city, the heart of London, this is it. This is the college group in Coventry. Scarborough, which is a small city in the north of England, and other campuses in London. We have 4 campuses in London. A little bit more about Poland, if you don't know a lot. We are the 9th biggest country in Europe, with the 9th highest GDP. So growing quickly, very dynamic, very fast-paced economy. Located centrally, so we don't say Eastern Europe, it's Central Europe, just close to Germany and Czech Republic. Wrocław as a city is located in the southwest, so very close to Germany and the Czech Republic. That's where our students go to for travels in between the blocks, in between the modules. I will explain to you the block system in a few minutes. 38 million inhabitants, although declining a bit recently, and it is known to be the safest country in Europe, so a good place to be. Wrocław. So if you look at Poland, the geography of Poland, in the north we have the seaside, Baltic seaside, that's where we spend our vacation. On the south you have big mountains, beautiful mountains, a lot of tourists, especially from Arabic countries, MENA countries, come to Zakopane, which is somewhere here. The eastern border with beautiful lakes and forests, and then the western border, which used to be German, with beautiful architecture. Wrocław was chosen, and not Warsaw, the capital, for this campus because it is very dynamic in terms of importing external big international companies, meaning it's an IT hub, it's a finance hub, so our students find work very easily and they can work in Poland. And furthermore, after they graduate, they can also find jobs very easily. It's a market that needs people to work, we need employees. Same for Kraków here, the second biggest city in Poland, right, in the south. I think there are more international employees in Kraków than Warsaw, the capital. It's huge, right? So we have several Italians, Spanish working here. You can see faces from all over the world. The city itself has 800,000 inhabitants with 100,000 students every year in all of the universities, many universities. That's why Wrocław is called the student city. And as I've mentioned before, several global companies. One of them is especially popular here, very known. It's LG, Korean company that produces electric car batteries. So a very absorbing work market, the labor market, right? What you can see on your right here is the University of Wrocław, so our biggest public university in the city. Beautiful. It used to be a castle for a German prince. So this is the entourage students would be in. This is the old town. This is where we hold our graduation ceremony. So once the students finish the degrees, these are all undergraduate degrees apart from the MBA. They would have their graduation ceremony after year 3 held in September in this building. And that is the oldest German Renaissance building in the world from the 16th century. The campus is located here. I will show you more pictures of the building later on from our Instagram profile. This is the main corridor, main hall. We rent 2 big floors, whole floors in this white building in the corner. It's a very modern space built in 2020. So there are several companies, like big international companies with offices in this neighborhood, and we are just amongst them. Just opposite to Sky Tower, and Sky Tower is the only skyscraper in Wrocław. So very tall, modern office glass building. So if students need to eat something during the breaks, for example, they would go to Sky Tower. We are located very close to the city center, so anything the students need for student life can be found very close, including cinemas, gyms, cafes, restaurants, anything they need. On campus, we also have a breakout space where we hold open days or other events. And students can chill during the breaks. And also an additional perk to the flight simulator because we offer a very unique degree, aviation management, and our students are the best in the world in it because they have won the IATA challenge twice in consecutive years. This year, third place, last year, first place, competing against several other universities. So very, very good degree. If you have anybody interested in aviation or transport logistics, then that would be a great choice. And now a little bit about our program and how we are different from other universities in Poland and across Europe is definitely the module system, the block system. So our students only learn one topic at a time, one subject at a time for 6 weeks, every day with the same tutor in the same classroom, same group, for 4 hours per day, because we only teach 4 hours per day, which is another amazing opportunity, right? Not many universities offer this. It's very concentrated, very career focused, I would say, a little bit like in the American style, where they also would have blocks. So it's a full immersion in one topic. It's much easier for the brain to learn, right? You don't have to switch topics every 90 minutes or every hour, depending on the university. After this one block, they have an assessment, and then 2 weeks of vacation, of break, and they start the second module. So students can join anytime throughout the year. They can join a different module. So we have the September starters, of course, the biggest group, but we also offer November intake, January intake, and March intake. And the ultimate goal of the students that join later on is to join year 3 in the last year, so they all graduate at the same time. So we can say it's a university of opportunities. If somebody is late, missed an exam, wanted to their summer vacation between high school and university, wanted to have a gap year, but then decided that they want to study, Coventry University Wrocław can easily accept these students. There are no end-of-year exams, so there are no stressful examination sessions. And I will stop you right there if you think it's too easy, because we do have students who do not pass the assessment. They do have to prepare for the assessment. It usually takes the form of a presentation in front of a jury of 2 or 3 academics. Sometimes it will be a written exam in some degrees and some modules. For example, applied biosciences would have anatomy, so of course we have to learn by heart. Or aviation management would have engineering, aircraft engineering. Then, of course, you have to learn some things by heart, but usually it's a presentation just like I am doing right now. They have to speak for 30 minutes and give something from themselves. The chat GPT will not do it for them, right? So they need to prove that they have acquired the knowledge, theoretical knowledge, and know how to use it in practice. Furthermore, the block system gives an opportunity for group exercises, meaning that they would do a whole lot of, for example, competition exercises between 2 groups. So the lecturer would divide the group into 2 or 3, and they would have an assignment, right, where they have to use the knowledge again in practice. It's all about problem solving. So this is the practical, the British side of our education. They need to use the theory in practice to solve problems, because ultimately in life, in work, as you know, everything is about problem solving. You just have different levels of complication, right? Placement opportunities. We have a team in the UK responsible for helping students to find internships and jobs. It's called the Talent Team. Our Polish-based students have the access to the Talent Team in the UK as well. They can also take the sandwich year, so a break between year 2 and year 3 for 1 year of work. We support them, we help them. I will tell you a little bit more about the sandwich year in a different slide. Small class sizes, so up to 20 in a group. The exception for now is business management and leadership, the biggest degree, the most popular degree. So we have 25, 26 students in the group, but still compared to 150, for example, in public universities, it's still very small. But that we know all the students by name. Every lecture knows every student quite well, and the communication is very good because our lectures are easily accessible. They can always be found in the corridor or in the academics room. So it's easy for somebody who wants to learn to get more information, right, to access our academics. They are very friendly. Flexibility. Since we teach 4 hours per day from 9 to 1 p.m. or from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. depending on the shift, it's easy to work, easy to study. Quite often you will find the students in the library after 1 p.m. Also, 90%, I would say, around official statistics, but we see that most of our students work part-time jobs. Both international and EU students can work. They have work permit in Poland. So very, very flexible degree. We have partners, so big global companies partner with us to offer internships and to take our students in sometimes for some exercises in their companies. And thus the degrees are very career focused, right? These are short 3-year degrees, very practical, in cooperation with employers, in cooperation with the talent team. So we produce employees quite quickly, right? These are not the type of studies where you come to extend your childhood for 7 years, right? You just come, you get a good degree, very practical, and then you're already prepared to work. This is how the block system looks like in practice. If you start in September, you would finish in mid-April and then have 5 months of vacation. So this is something I would like to stress because not every university offers. I don't know any other university offering 5 months of vacation for the September start date. So they would either go home, either work in Poland or travel. For the November start date, they finish in June and then their vacation is shorter. And then they would join the year 2 that started in September in year 1. So as I told you, it's always about joining, right, catching up with the group that started in September in year 1. January and March are mostly international intakes, especially now due to the visa issues some international students experience. There's a new visa process, right? So there's an additional step to take, which is the high school diploma recognition. I'm sure you're all aware of it if you work with Polish universities. It extends the period of like 3 months, let's say. So if somebody missed the information or did something wrongly, then it's not a problem. They can join us in November, January, March as well. May and June we don't do in Poland at the moment because we don't have enough applicants. Sandwich year, as I've mentioned to you before, it's an option to take a year of this break costs 2,000 zlotys, or not much. It's less than 500 euros per year, where you stay on the list of students. You find your employer by yourself, or our talent team can help you with this. And then we control the process to make it safe. So we make sure that the students arrive on place. We make sure that they work, that the person comes to work, that he or she is being paid, that they have social security, etc. And from the other side, we also make sure that the company is legitimate, that the company pays out. So we overlook the students who take this opportunity. Our degrees. On the right, you can see our academics. This is a person from customer services, but the rest are academics. So this is cybersecurity, this is computing science / cybersecurity, and business management and leadership. During the graduation ceremony, you see the beautiful flags here in this old building I showed you before in the old town of Wrocław. Degrees. Applied psychology, which is the practical side of psychology, doesn't mean it prepares our students to become a psychologist, clinical psychologist, but it is a very good base. So they can either choose this one and then add a master's degree in psychology and, of course, do several internships in order to be like a doctor, right, a psychologist, or they can take different other paths. So this is good for people who are interested in the self, in development, in society, because it has elements of sociology as well. If somebody is interested in the human being, civilization, that's a very good degree. Applied biosciences, which is a new degree, we opened it last year. concentrated mostly on practical work in labs. So this is our official partner, BioInmed, a cluster of 40 biotechnological companies in Poland that are looking to hire our students already. So if somebody like chemistry and biology would like to work in a pharmaceutical company or in research or in several other fields where the knowledge is required, then biosciences is a good degree. 90% of the work is done in the lab. Aviation management is very unique. We are one of the 2 universities in Poland offering this, and this is the most international degree due to its narrow specialization. So you will have like aviation freaks, let's say, in a good word. So children who love aviation are fascinated by planes since their childhood. They want to work in airports or in airlines all over the world. That is why we have students coming from, Japan or the United States, Alaska, anywhere in the world to get a good degree for a very good price, because this is the highest value on money compared to other degrees. In England or in other places, they would pay £20,000 for this degree, and here they can get it for £6,000 if they are European or £10,000 if they are international. This degree also offers trips. So every year they would go to England to see our premises in Coventry with several flight simulators and other machines. They would often go to airports. They are the only students in the world taken to Roots. So Roots is like the biggest aviation sector event, a conference held in different continents. We take part in the European conference. Our course leader, Ms. Roxani, at the would take our students there every year. So amazing opportunity, right? And we pay for 50%, if I'm not wrong, of the plane tickets for these kids who want to travel to all these events. Amazing opportunity. Business management and leadership, our biggest degree, will prepare students to either open their own startups or work in corporations as leaders. They would have some elements of psychology in the leadership part, so they would have common lessons, common modules with the applied psychology group, for example. Computing science and cybersec are the 2 IT related, the last one. We have 3 IT labs on campus because there is need, right? We have many students choosing this one. And these are all quite international degrees as well. 40% of our students are international from all over the world. Computing science would be more general, while cybersecurity is, of course, concentrated on ethical hacking. We have special programs for either attack or defense simulation, right? So very good, expensive programs that we have, and our students use it. The official partner of cybersecurity is Global Logic. The official partner of computing science is Fresenius, and the official partner of aviation management is Collins Aerospace. Collins Aerospace even teaches 2 out of the 12 modules, 12 blocks, because if you divide the 3 years into blocks, it's 4 blocks per year times 3, that means 12. They have 12 subjects throughout the 3-year period. Additional services, library services, of course, center academic writing, which is very useful nowadays because many students in all of the universities I talk to try to go around the system, and they think ChatGPT always tells the truth. But we know that sometimes even the references to articles they provide in their works do not exist. So they provide references to articles that do not exist because ChatGPT just misinforms them. So the Center for Academic Writing held in the library helps them to understand the law and the effects of these type of forgeries, and helps them to write the bibliography for their end of degree work, because of course they need to write the bachelor work. Career advice and support, talent teams, this one I have already mentioned. We even have an application which they can use. It's called Handshake. It's used by Wrocław students and London students and Coventry students, where you would have a list of employers looking for interns or employees. health and well-being support, and the success coach. So this year we will have our first success coach in Poland as well, because we have several of them in England, and this will be a person responsible for the success of the students. So they are there to, handhold the students through every step. Shall it be academic needs? If they cannot cope with the study load, they would plan, for example, they would make a timetable of the time study. If they have some emotional issues, they would be sent to a therapist, for example. Anything they need in Poland, your parents are not there, the success coach is there to help. Library services, it is a fully digital library, but we have access to 2 million books, so all the records offered in the big library in Coventry are offered here to our students as well, and they have it for free, all the manuals electronically for free for the time span of 3 years, so the whole time they study with us, which is, I think, also a great perk, not highlighted that much, but if you take into consideration that in some countries, students pay like 800 euros or 1,000 pounds for the books, the manuals, then this is really a great opportunity. They can also rent a laptop whenever they want for the whole day. They just need to return it in the afternoon. The tuition fees. I will mention them maybe in euros, not in pounds. 6,000 zloty per year for international students. It comes up to around 10,500 euros. They can use the early bird discount option, which is a good option. If they decide to pay everything upfront in one installment, the fees would be 41,000, so around 9,500 euros. The same option is possible for European students. I don't know how many of us today are from Europe, European agents. The fees are 27,500 zloty, so around 6,000 euros. And also, if you deduct the 10%, it's about 5,000 euros. So that's a very, very good cost for a British diploma, because the diploma is, of course, exactly the same as in England. So we issue the diplomas without the name of the campus on them. You could also pay in installments. The European students can pay in 4 installments. International students can break up their fees into 3 installments. What is important is that the down payment, the deposit, must be paid first, of course, at the application stage, and it is 15,333 zloty, so 1/3 of the year. That's around 3,800 euros. Of course, the deposit gets refunded if the student doesn't come for any reason. Application guidelines for international students. Now there have been other changes, new changes. A government agency called NAWA in Poland took over the process of doing the high school diploma recognition. Students can try to do it by themselves online, but they can also hire a representative in Poland, and this is what we always try to convince agents to do, right? And the applicants, because they make mistakes. Sometimes they don't provide one document and then they don't get the visa. So Be Relocated is an agency who works in Poland. I always recommend her. The owner of this agency is the best specialist I know in visas. She knows a lot about different countries, different embassies in different countries, and she helps the students. So all of her applicants get a visa. There is no decline. So if you would like, I can send you the contact details to the relocated company later on. Immigration. Foreign students can legally work in Poland while studying. They get a visa issued for 1 year. After 3 months, they need to apply for the temporary residence permit. Nowadays, it takes a long time in Poland. There are queues to get this card, so they would wait around 18 months to get this residence card. Of course, the non-EU students, because European students don't need this card. After graduation, the students can stay in Poland for 9 months to look for work or additional studies, because you either have to work or study, right, if you stay in Poland. And as I've mentioned before, most of our second-year students work part-time, year 2 and year 3. A little bit more about Poland and student life. So these are the lakes in the north, Mazury, multiple dozens of big lakes where people chill. We have the seaside, a very long shore, I think like 400, 500 kilometers of Baltic Sea shore, the mountains in the south. So it's a country where you will find everything. So anything you want to do, you can do in Poland. Zakopane, which is a small town in the south of Poland, to ski, the ski resort. English speaking. So in order to explain you a little bit, to make you, not worry, ease the pain of the worry that many agents or international applicants express, is how am I going to communicate in Poland? I don't speak Polish. Does anybody speak Polish? You guys don't speak, English. You guys don't speak English, right? It is not true. This is not with data from 13 years ago, where you can see that Poles speak much more English than Spanish or Portuguese, right? Surprise, surprise. 34% of Polish nationals spoke English at a pretty good conversation level, very similar to France, less than Germany, of course, but still a very high level, more than Czech Republic, more than Hungary. So I think now it's much more. Of course, younger people will speak English better. Older people will not speak English as well, but it's the same situation in the whole world, I guess, right? So do not worry if a student comes to Wrocław, which is such a big city. Most people will talk English, and Poles are very helpful, especially towards tourists or international students, right? So they always help with anything they need. If you ask a passenger on the street for directions or information, everybody will try to help. The food and the culture, we have cultural and religious centers of every culture and religion. There are bars for expats, stand-up in English, theater, comedies in English. So a very big expat community. If you go on Facebook or Instagram and you look at expats in Wrocław, you will find very, very big groups. So not only will the students have friends on campus, because our students are extremely friendly, they have their own WhatsApp group. They would always invite the year one newcomers to the WhatsApp group at the beginning of September. They take them to the student island to party, right, to network a little bit, because there's a student island in Wrocław called Wyspa Słodowa. And then they are already befriended. Accommodation. This is one of the 3 private boarding houses in Wrocław. We have Base Camp, Student Depot, and Milestone. Milestone offers the best deals to us at the moment. They would offer a 10% discount to all our students, whereas the other 2 would not charge the registration fee. However, in Milestone, you need to sign the contract for 12 months, so for the whole year, and then Base Cap you can sign for 6 months, 9 months, which is something you need to consider depending on the student's plan for the year. Do they want to stay in Poland after the end of the academic year? Do they want to go abroad? Nevertheless, these are links to these 3 boarding houses. It is possible, of course, to find a room in somebody's flat, and to rent the room it will be cheaper, because here it would cost around from 2,500 to 3,000 zloty per month, which is almost the same as the academic fee for European students, right? You can find a room. In the first year it might be difficult when you just come, but in the second year they already know somebody, they have some friends they would like to rent the flat with, so this is a good option. Also, relocation companies would help to find a room. We have an airport in Wrocław, so students can come directly, fly directly to Wrocław. It's only 25-30 minutes drive from the city center, and there are many even long-distance direct flights, even from Korea at the moment. So the key selling points here, you can see some of our international students. It's a British university diploma while living in the EU. So once they get their residence card, they can travel all around Europe. Very low academic fees comparing to the UK offering for the same diploma. They can hop between the campuses. So So this is an opportunity. They could spend 2 years in Wrocław and the last year in UK, for example, or different other configurations. They could start in the UK and finish in Wrocław. We do have some British students who come for their 3rd year in Poland for the experience as well. Direct application, not through UCAS. Block teaching, no end of year exams, easy to combine with work. Here you see our cybersecurity students. So we have a student from Ukraine, a student from Poland, student from Korea. Here you would have, of course, the aviation management students, as you can see by the plane. And this is partially the group that won IATA Challenge, so the global challenge made organized by the International Aviation and Travel Association, so a very prestigious contest. And our Wrocław students won, not the UK students, not any other university competing. So from Singapore, the States, Australia, UK, Canada, it was Wrocław. That is why we are very proud of our degree here. Aviation management, this is the lecture, always practical. We always take them from the labor market, right? These are not just theoretical lecturers. They are usually specialists in the field that have a very broad work experience. So here we have students from Italy, students from Syria, students from Rwanda, and students from Poland. And this is how their life looks like when they come here. They would live, they would work with very, very international groups. And that's it from my presentation.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Everything is perfect. It was amazing. And we had more than 30 participants today from around the world. So thank you very much for coming as well, agents. We are really grateful for this.